Welcome everybody to my childhood bedroom and this video. Now, childhood bedroom is a little bit like, it's a strong word. My parents moved when I was 17, so I was in my senior year of high school. I lived in this room for about a year before moving off to college, which was 5 years ago. So, does this count as my childhood bedroom? I don't know. I've not been living here for 5 years and I've lived here for 1 year. However, this stores my teenage year books, alright? And if you look at this is not the state that I would want my teenage books, the loves of my life, my first loves, the most important people in my life, essentially. This is not how I want them to look. What we are doing today is cleaning out these shelves, rearranging them, making them pretty, and I'm also going to tell you about the books that 13-year-old me absolutely loved. So please, in the comments, tell me your favorite books from when you were 13. If you are 13 now, tell me your favorite books. I'm interested. In case you're wondering, 13-year-old me was 10 years ago. I am now 23, about to turn 24 in less than a month. My birthday is on November 4th, if you are wondering. And yeah, let's just get into it because there's a lot of things here that are not the prettiest. For example, this bottom shelf, it's empty. What's going on here? I can tell you what's going on there. My mom went to a yard sale and she was like, do you have books that you want to get rid of? And I was like, you know what? Maybe I do. Let's just get into this. Let's just get the books out of there and we'll just see. We'll just see what's going on. We'll see what the situation is. My mom is using this room as her home office now, by the way. There is a bed and you're currently standing on her desk where she has all her stuff and all her art supplies because my mom's an artist. This is not really my room anymore. Well, it is my room. I am in it currently, but do you understand what I'm saying? Like when you move out, your parents use your room because why wouldn't they? It's what happened here. Now, you know me, I'm already getting warm in this, so we're taking off this sweater. I was originally wearing fluffy gray polka dot sweatpants, but my mom was like, Vivian, you know, this is not the best outfit. So I put on leggings for you, specifically for you, and I have stars on my shoes. Step 1, get the books off the shelves. Step 2, clean the shelves. Step 3, put the books back on and talk to you a little bit more about the books. So let's do step 1. The amount of boxes I have that I didn't have the books in, I don't know why. I don't know why, but I have them. They're pretty, they're gorgeous. This is probably the most interesting corner. This is my DVD and Blu-ray collection featuring Barbie and the Princess Charm School and the Cinderella Story DVD collection. Both very pink, very on brand. Also featuring my Sims 4 expansion packs. I'm probably gonna move them to the bottom because yeah. At the bottom here are the absolute best books in the world. We have Holly the Christmas Fairy, Stella the Star Fairy, Sky the Blue Fairy, Izzy the Indigo Fairy, and Heather the Violet Fairy, which was my absolute favorite. I have this on CD. My dad, when he went on like work trip, he recorded himself reading this book to me, and he did this for me every work trip, that he would like just record a book for me, and it was the cutest thing ever, and I love this book. I can probably recite this out of memory. And we also have Summer the Holiday Fairy. There's some used books. We have Spanish and Persian fairy tales. I love the dictionaries. They're here. Anyway, what's this? Oh, this is not my book. This is one of my mom's thrillers. And then there is a mystery box. Shall we open the mystery box? Wow. This is truly a mystery box. Okay, we have a box of Tic Tacs that I bought in 2016 in the US because it was so funny to me. The Tic Tacs were actually orange because here the box is just orange and the Tic Tacs are white because they don't have any artificial colorings in them. They expired in 2017. We have an old Sony Ericsson phone that probably still works if you turn it on. This was my first ever phone, in case you were wondering. There's a Christmas tree ornament and a Pez dispenser in the form of Hermione Granger. There is also like one of these adoption things for a sea turtle. I probably got that as a gift one year for Christmas. And then we have Blu-rays. The first Percy Jackson, Cinderella because it's a classic, Tangled because it's a classic, So Undercover, Twilight, and this. This is Ruby Red. It's a book trilogy that was made into a movie trilogy. We also have the entire Harry Potter collection. Let's wipe down all these shelves. It's clean. All the dead animals that were in there, that sounds bad. There were a few flies that were like, they didn't make it. By the way, this picture, this is not my dog. This is my dog. She's adorable, she's cute. This is not her. But now that we're clean and fresh, we can start on the books. These are the books. You've seen my bookshelves at home. This is not that bad. I think I have about 80 books here. Let me just put them back on the shelves, I guess. It's not really that hard, but I need to establish a system. The desk will be moved back in front of the bookshelves. That's where it stands right now. So the bottom is where all the ugly stuff goes. So I'm thinking of actually at this bottom ugly shelf of putting my Blu-rays because let's be honest, I don't want to see them ever. Let's do that real quick and then we'll meet up once that's done. Okay, the Blu-rays are stored. This took like not even a minute, but I think the best bet is to also put all like the school books down here and all of the like important folders that I still have because that also goes in here. Everything kind of goes in here. So let's quickly do that as well. It's done. It looks horrible. We're at the top. Weirdly enough, my dad has more camera equipment than I did, so I took it. I made it wonky, but I just made the camera wonky, so it's all wonky. It looks, let me show you. This is what we're looking at right now. Anyways, let's start with my pretty books. Now they're all on the back and all the bottom, but we can start with the book series you all know. A book series where I'm kind of happy about the cover change. I have a special edition, a German special edition of The Hunger Games. This is the box. I never had them in the box. I don't know why I never had them in the box. Does not make sense to me at all. But this is what they look like now. And they're gonna probably go right here, like a little crooked, because we have the space. Now, what goes well with The Hunger Games? Probably the Divergent series. I have all of these. We don't talk about the fact that I have them in paperback, hardcover, because I read the third book when it just came out in German. Obviously, these are the German covers. They look like I think the US covers. They're pretty much the exact same. I wrote an alternate ending for this because I just hated the way this ended. So I wrote an alternate one so that I don't have to live with this. I think I'm just gonna get this as a dystopian shelf because I have this book. It's called Vortex. I've never read it. I don't know what this is about. I might never read it, but it's pretty and it fits with the dystopian. I know that it's dystopian. At least I think it is. This is not dystopian, but I wanted to show you this. These are the German covers of the Lux series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I read the first 3 books, I think, and then I got bored by the series, which tends to happen with series that I read by Jennifer L. Armentrout. It happened to me with From Blood and Ash. It happened to me with all her other books. I don't know why, but it just happens. Okay, I have the second book in the Red Queen series and the third book. These are both gorgeous. The only thing I don't like about them is that there's real people behind this on the cover, and it's always the same person. I don't know why I don't have the first book either, so it's a whole mess, but I have these two, and they're just gonna go up here and just gonna exist here because I think they're very beautiful and I want them there. I think these books can go on the dystopian shelf. These are the German covers of the Lunar Chronicles, and they are the most beautiful covers you've ever seen. You've got the first book, which is Cinder with the little heels. This book, so good. It's kind of like a dystopian futuristic world where our main character, Cinderella, is a kind of like mechanic, and she has a mechanical leg because she's kind of like a cyborg. And I've read this book so many times and I'm trying to get back into them because I read the first book, the second book, and a little bit of the third book before I entered like a 4-year reading slump and I never finished the books. I need to read the first and second book again to read the third one. Technically, I don't think you need to, because each of them are like their own story, but there's a consecutive storyline behind it, so I kind of do need to. Anyway, these go on the dystopian shelf as well. I do like it. It looks pretty. I, of course, have the entirety of the selection series. Where would I be without this series? It's one of my favorites, and it is one of the absolute best things that I could have ever read when I was, I don't know, 12 to 14 probably. I think I'm gonna put them here and make this kind of like a royalty and we don't like the system vibe on that shelf. The rest of the selection series goes next to the selection series, obviously. We have the selection stories, which is one of the novellas. And then we have this. Ignore the cover, it's super ugly. It's the movie book edition of Ruby Red. This trilogy is a godsend, honestly. It's been translated into English. They're fun though, so they're gonna go on the top shelf. We have a visitor. She's here with us. Do you wanna say hi to the camera? What is that? You can't eat it. You can't eat it. You can't eat it. Why are you here? Where do you want to go now? The question is, where does she want to go now? We have no idea what the dogs are doing, but the dogs are doing things. We have the rest of that series, which will go next to it, I believe. Another book by that same author, Kerstin Gia, is this one, Castle in the Clouds. I think that's what it's called in English. Again, I love this. I think the German cover is way better than whatever this is. So we don't talk about it. This is so pretty. I'm gonna have to face it out. And then lastly, by that same author, we have my favorite series, which is this one. This is the Silver Trilogy, or Dream a Little Dream. I think that's the first book in English. They're amazing. They're about this girl who joins a group of 4 guys at school, and they have accidentally summoned a demon. However, that demon also gave them the power to visit each other and visit other random people in their dreams. And it's so much fun. This is one of my all-time favorite book series. If you have not read this, please do. They're so much fun. It is going up here. But now I have space up there for, I have an idea. This looks like just enough space for the beautiful German editions of ACOTAR. Yes, I have them. I read the first book in German, actually. Let's put these up here. You can technically take off like the foil, which is clear, dust jacket, and have it like this. It's also pretty. I love the way they did this, okay? I love that. It's so cool. I think that looks kind of cute, doesn't it? Another series I started and never finished. This is the Ophelia Scale series. I think it's a German one. Not sure if they were ever translated, but I read the first book and the second book, and then there was a bookmark in the third book where I stopped. So that's not fun. But they do fit perfectly in here. I have been obsessed with everything that Jennifer Astep has written in her life. The whole Mythos Academy, I think that's what they're called. I don't know what they're called in English, okay? But they are so good. I am absolutely obsessed with that series, okay? I don't have it. That was the only thing I had on my Kindle growing up. Like, not the only thing. That sounds like torture, but my dad got me the entire series because I was like, please, Dad, please. These are the other books by her. This is the sequel series, which is called Bitter Frost in German. I don't know. And then this is the Black Blade series by her. These are also so much fun. They're kind of about a spy who has magical abilities, and it's cool. I loved these. I don't know why I have never heard anybody talk about them in English, but I think they were probably a thing here, which is weird, but I've read them all the time when I was younger, and I loved them. I think that looks good. I'm in front of it for you, right? But it looks good, right? Let's move over here. The only thriller series I want to talk about to you today is this one. These are YA thrillers, and they were the best thing I read. I was obsessed with these. I loved them so much. This is, of course, the Night School series, and it's about teenagers at boarding school and somebody dies. It's very fun. It's more of like a mystery than it's a thriller, but the whole thing is kind of a little spooky, but also not too much. These are amazing. These are great. I loved them so much. They have romance in them. It's a 5-book series. It's completed. Let's prepare the thriller shelf, shall we? I have some other books here that I've actually never read and I can't tell you much about them, but I know that they're thrillers. Is it cheating that I don't put these on my TBR because I never plan on actually reading them? Am I a bad person for that? I don't know. I don't know where to put these books. Okay, these are my absolute favorite books when I was growing up. They're Greek mythology. What were you expecting of me? It's the Star-Crossed series, but the German covers are just superior. This is the first book. It's beautiful, gorgeous. Gorgeous! Anyway, these go here because they have a special place in my heart and I need them to be presented properly. What's happening to my shoe? It looked like I broke my foot. It's just way too big. I got tiny feet. Now this is my absolute shame. I have 3 Harry Potter books. I got the last one, I got the 4th one, and I got the 3rd one, which is somewhere on that pile still. But I don't have the rest of them. I'm not gonna get them. I got the books from the library and I think these were like either ones that you could get from the library because they had overstock or somebody gifted them to me or something. I don't know why I have them, but I do. So I'm just gonna put them probably like over here somewhere. So the 3rd one, it's gonna go in there as well. Greek mythology. By the way, who designed these covers? Because I don't think they're pretty. I don't really like them much. I think the German covers are very creepy. I used to be scared of them. That's why I didn't read them as a kid, because I was scared of them. And then I also have these. These are just like Percy Jackson explains Greek myths or something. And then these. Up, up, up the stairs we go. That was Lord of the Rings. Beautiful. Let's do some leftover books over there. We have Inkheart. This is probably the most famous German book, Inkheart. I mean, it's been made into a movie and the movie is English. So I have the 2nd book as well. I don't have the 3rd book. So these are kind of more miscellaneous, but I'm gonna put them over here because at least they're pretty. For example, do you remember this series? The Shadow Falls Camp. I think this is the 1st book and I was trying to reread it apparently. I don't remember reading these. I don't remember what they're about. I just remember they were like kids at camp and kids at camp had magic. So we're gonna put them here and we're gonna ignore them and their existence for as long as we can. All right, The Maze Runner. I've never finished this series. I read the 1st book and I was like, maybe not. So this is also going on the miscellaneous shelf. I have Clockwork Angel. The German covers are so gorgeous. I love these. We got Twilight here. However, I apparently only have the 1st and the 2nd book. Can we talk about how ugly the Twilight covers are in German? They're so bad. Who was in charge of these and thought this is a good idea? Anyway, these go here because ugly. I do have this beautiful edition of Alice in Wonderland. I've never read the 2nd book though, so don't come for me. This is kind of like classics. Where do we put these? Because I also have Pride and Prejudice right here, and then I have Jane Eyre. I do also have Hamlet and Romeo and Juliet. I'm just gonna put them with Harry Potter at the bottom. Now all that's left are like some leftover books. Mostly books I've never read and I don't know where to put them. However, this is also a book that I own. This is kind of like an anniversary illustrated edition of The Lord of the Rings. I've not read this, okay? I've read like maybe a few pages of Lord of the Rings before deciding that no, we're not doing that. It is pretty, but it's also super heavy and I'm never gonna read it. However, it looks beautiful as like exactly what it is, which is decoration. Remember when I told you about my favorite book series? I got the 3rd book twice. We don't talk about it. We have some more random books. I'm just gonna start putting them up here. I also have a kid's book. This is my favorite kid's book. It's about dragons. Well, it's not about dragons. It's about a princess who doesn't really want to be a princess and she just wants to ride dragons. This is the Pan series. I've not read them. I cannot tell you anything about them. This is where somebody was trying to write a new selection and it didn't really go well. We're done. Let me move you back and give you an overview. Alrighty, this is it. This is her. This is she. She is done. I think it looks kind of pretty. If you imagine a desk here and not seeing all this, the top part looks good. This part looks good. I'm happy with it. And with that, we are done. People, we are done. We've made the shelf look pretty again. It was a mess, but now it's looking good and I am quite happy. Please tell me if you have any more suggestions what I can do with this shelf. And I'm gonna see you for the next video that I make, and until then, have a lovely day and goodbye. You don't see the rest of the room, which is a mess currently, which is better that way. Honestly, it's better that way. But some of the mess is also not my mess, so I don't think I should be the one to take the blame. But the bookshelf looks pretty again, which is important to me. I'll see you soon. Bye!